Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Albrecht. I'm a childbirth educator and doula, and I'm in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Before I share with you 4 positions that you can use during labor with a chair, I wanted to tell you that I have some classes coming up in Exton, Pennsylvania. They start in October, and they are ideal for due dates that are in the beginning of 2018. So I invite you to check out my Facebook page, explore that a little bit more. I have some more videos up that are very helpful. And also check out bradleybirth.com/SarahJoyAlbrecht. I hope to see you guys in class. All right, so let me just show you a few things. And before I go into any detail here, I want to talk about why it's important to know how to use different things while you're laboring. I think a lot of clients have this idea that they do of course want some mobility and freedom of movement. That's really, really important while you're laboring, to encourage that process to go a lot more quickly, to help the baby sift through the pelvis. But sometimes you're kind of limited, and one of the reasons why you're limited is because perhaps you need to have some intermittent fetal monitoring during that process just to make sure the baby's heart rate's okay. And a lot of times that means, unless you have like a telemetry unit, that you're able to walk around the hallway in like a hospital or birth center, you're really confined to that hospital room. You want to still be able to get up and move around and encourage labor, but the problem is that you're stuck in that room. So having some tricks up your sleeve, like knowing how to labor using a chair, really come in handy there. And a lot of these positions we've used in the delivery room so that the mom can still be safely hooked up to the monitors, but she still has some freedom of movement. And when she's hooked up to the monitors, for those of you who don't know, there usually is a monitor for the mother and for the baby, and they have these big elastic bands or Velcro bands. Sometimes they're like a elastic mesh that goes around. They have a little bit of jelly on them to encourage that connectivity so that you can hear better the baby's heart rate and also the mom. And so those things can kind of be cumbersome, and keep in mind, that these positions generally work, but if you have a baby who's moving around, but or that's a little bit harder to find, the nurse might come in and move things around just to make sure that you have a good reading. So that's good. But anyway, it's good to do a couple different things so that you're not just stuck with one position while you're laboring. And so without further ado, let me show you using this chair. So the first position that you can use is just a classic sitting in the chair position. And so if you're in this position and you get hit with a whopping contraction, it's kind of hard to just stand to sit up like this. And so something that you can do, you feel the contraction building, and if you have that rhythm of time to okay, I'm getting a contraction about every 2 minutes here, I know it's going to be strong. So you hit that 1 minute, 50-second mark, and you're like, okay, I've got a contraction coming, I'm just going to get into position so it doesn't catch me off guard. And you just lean forward, and you put your head down, and you take a deep breath. And you breathe through your contraction, and you can just stay here. And this way you're supported, your elbows are kind of supporting your upper back. You're not really using your lower back muscles to hold you up. You're supported with the chair, and you can just lean forward and relax through that contraction. Your feet are firmly planted on the floor, and you can just breathe through it. This is also a great opportunity for those who are helping you in your labor to just give you a good back massage from this position as well, and rub your shoulders. So just breathing through that contraction. All right, so that's like a traditional way to use a chair and then leaning in for a contraction. Here's another way you can use a chair from a seated position, like this, all right? And the benefit of having the chair turned around, sitting on the chair with your legs open like this, is it really helps to open things up. It helps to open up the pelvis a little bit. So if you're trying to especially encourage dilation, or you're trying to maybe if there's a lip of a cervix or something, you're working around it, this is a good open your thighs position, open the pelvis. Also, sitting on the hard surface really helps to open up the back of the pelvis by spreading that bone, putting positive pressure on there. So this is something else you can do. So you feel contraction building, and what you can do is just lean into it like this, and you put your weight on the back of the chair, and you breathe through your contraction. So this position also, if you're laboring at home for a little while, is also great on a toilet. You know, let's be honest, our bodies in a seated position at about toilet height, and especially if you're sitting on a toilet, and don't do this like late in labor when you feel an urge to push, please. But your body naturally relaxes and opens up when you're thinking, I need to have a bowel movement. And so sitting on the toilet while you're laboring, as long as you're in a safe phase of labor and you're not in a pushing phase, is really psychologically valuable because it helps you to think, this is a natural place where I open up and I release everything. So keep that in mind when we're talking about these seated positions here. You know, those first two positions can happen on the toilet. And it's great if you have a little like fluid gushing or a little bit of bloody show, it's catching it in the toilet too. So it helps, you know, less padding and stuff to catch everything if you're sitting on a toilet. All right, fun, huh? That's part of the process though. You really have to think through these things and to be comfortable with them. And honestly, that's why people hire doulas, because they're not always comfortable with, you know, hanging out in a bathroom. I do it, and I don't mind it at all. It's part of supporting women in labor. This is part of the process, right? All right, so another way that you can use a chair. This is great for, again, just like, I don't know if I can get the whole thing in the frame here in my face. Hi, everybody. So if, again, you can have the monitors on, put one foot up on the chair, and you can lunge. And this really, again, just helps to open up the pelvis, and you can lunge into the contractions. Some women want to hold still and go like this. Some women feel that contraction building and they're like, oh, I'm going to lunge into this, whoa, and hold on to the back of the chair. Sometimes if you have a labor support person, they can help just hold your shoulders if you feel strong contraction. You should never be alone if you're in labor. There's just too much going on, and you want to have someone who can make sure that you're safe and feel supported and loved. So in this position, this is a good spot for a labor support person to just kind of be nearby and make sure that you don't fall. So you're lunging into the contraction, and you might take a couple contractions this way, and then you might decide, all right, now I'm going to do some on the other side. So you're lunging into that contraction like this. You can support with your hand here. You can support here. You can hold on to something in front of you. It's a great position. So there's my head again. One more position that I want to show you using a chair. These are laboring positions. Again, very helpful if you are kind of stuck in the delivery room, whether you're on some intermittent fetal monitoring, or if you're just not comfortable going away from where you plan to deliver. Because if your delivery is imminent, you don't want to be necessarily walking halls when you know that you need to be close to all the right spot and the right tools and that kind of a thing, especially if you're like in a hospital or a birth center setting. And before I show you the last position, for those of you who are just joining me, I'm Sarah Albrecht. I'm the childbirth educator and doula in Chester County, Pennsylvania, and I'm offering Bradley Method childbirth classes in Exton starting in October. And these classes are ideal for couples who are expecting at the beginning of 2018. So I hope that you can join me. If you go to bradleybirth.com/SarahJoyAlbrecht, you can see my upcoming class schedule and learn a little bit more about that. If you click on, there's a link that says like course overview or something like that. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it will tell you the summary of what we cover in those classes. They are wonderful. It's like taking a college class so that you absolutely feel prepared, as does your spouse, for the labor and delivery process. And one of the things I love about Bradley Method is that they really teach you how to be healthy throughout your pregnancy so you have the best possible outcome and that you make informed decisions throughout pregnancy, labor, delivery, and even postpartum. And that really, really helps you with a strong recovery, strong bonding with your child. I took Bradley Method before I became a teacher. I have 5 children. I really appreciate this method. It has been a really great part of my life. That's why I teach it. So without further ado, let me show you this last birth position, or let me say labor position, but I said birth because I have actually seen a baby delivered from this position with a doctor who was game for it. She got down low and used this. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but basically, so let's see if I can turn my camera without dropping it. I don't know if I can. So let me scoop the chair. So in this position here, you turn the chair like this. This also, by the way, works with a birth ball because it's about the same height. And so you just lean forward like this. And then my legs are, you cannot see it, I'm so sorry, but my legs are open like this. So that's why if a woman was in this position, a doctor could reach and help to catch the baby. I've seen it happen. It's great. And this is a very relaxing position too. If you have back labor, someone can give you a good back massage or a double hip squeeze in this position. And it's also great for back labor because your belly is forward and you're supported with your elbows here. And so it helps to bring everything forward. It takes the pressure off your back, which can be really painful if you have a baby that is sunny side up, or it's just labor in general. You're gonna have a little bit of feeling in your back. So anyway, this position here, and something you can do to really just kind of as a comfort measure is you can rock back and forth. That's really helpful. Just rock back and forth. You can do some pelvic rocks where you tuck your tail in like that. There's just so many versatile things. You're also supported with your knees and your toes, so it takes the pressure off. It allows you to keep moving because your legs are more open. It allows you to open the pelvis. So those are 4 positions for laboring using a chair. I hope that you enjoyed that and that you learned something. And you never know if you're going to be helping someone in labor. And so you really want to think about, what are my surroundings? What things can I use to help this woman feel more comfortable and to help her with her labor progresses? Hopefully, you've got a plan in place, but these are good tricks for anyone to know, don't you think? It's always good to learn new things. I invite you to ask questions. I hope to do some more live videos. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the feedback. I love to hear your questions and comments. So yeah, I'm looking forward to spending more time with you guys. Again, check out my upcoming class schedule at bradleybirth.com/SarahJoyAlbrecht. Talk to you soon. Bye.